live. Hi, everybody. This is take 2 officially. If you were just on Facebook and YouTube on our PragerU channels, you saw we had a snafu with the sound. Thank you for letting us know. Do you notice that we changed the microphone? Yes, we did. So is it working? Tell me in the comments if it's working. Good afternoon, everybody. Again, today is Tuesday, November 28th. After Thanksgiving, I hope you had a beautiful and blessed Thanksgiving. Today is Giving Tuesday, and we are happy at Giving Tuesday always here at PragerU, and especially PragerU Kids, because we are always, not just today, we are always so very grateful for all of your support, for your donations that give us the resources to continue to make children's stories, books, shows, magazines, all that educate our kids, kindergarten through 12th grade, with American history, values, character building, financial literacy, civics, what else? Everything. Everything that most of the schools today are not teaching. I'll say that. So we're very grateful. Today is Giving Tuesday. PragerU Kids, as I said in the previous video, but I'll say it again, PragerU Kids is officially a toddler. We are 2.5 years old, about. We are wild, we are unruly, but we are deliciously adorable, I like to say. No. My producer Cam is like, what is she doing? Seriously, PragerU Kids is a toddler. We're about 2.5 years old, and we can't make any of our shows or books or magazines without all of you, the supporters who generously give us the resources to make our shows. Today is Giving Tuesday, and all donations are going to be doubled today. Tuesday, November 28th. So you get the idea. $1 becomes $2, $20 becomes $40, $100 becomes $200 today. If you click the link that is in the title of the Facebook and YouTube Live, we are so grateful and we thank you so very much from the bottom of our hearts always. To our headline now. First of all, tell me where you're from. We here fight from the belly of the beast in California, but I want to know where all of you are from watching on Facebook and YouTube. Did I mention that I'm Jill Simonian from PragerU Kids? I hope I did. I said it in the previous take that we had to scrap because of sound. So if you're just tuning in, I'm Jill from PragerU Kids. And we have our hot topic headline now about what's happening in education. So all of us parents and educators and grandparents, for that matter, can continue to be informed, to stay active in our schools, something we always champion at PragerUkids.com. There is good news for parents and children, frankly, coming out of San Diego County, California, of all places. A lot of people always, California has a lot of unfortunate and disappointing things happening in our education system. However, stories like this that I'm about to share with you is proof that reasonable people, whether you are in California or elsewhere, reasonable people will triumph if we collectively understand what's right, what's wrong, what our rights are, and what we can do about it to restore our education system, to partner with parents in the way that our education system did decades ago. So let's take a look at this headline from the San Diego Union Tribune. Again, I want to share good news on this Giving Tuesday going into the Christmas season. Classical Academy's public charter schools in San Diego County, California, are returning to reasonable education and partnership with parents. And look at this headline right here. They're dropping, San Diego County Charter School Network drops policy protecting transgender students' privacy. Now, take a look at this headline. It's a little skewed. They're talking about, these San Diego County Charter School doesn't want to protect transgender students. That is a skewed title. All of us who are used to this sort of gaslighting can recognize this. Let's get into the article and read what it says. The new policy calls for school staff to notify parents if a minor below the age of 18, right? To notify parents if a minor student requests a change in their official or unofficial records, such as to their name or pronouns. And the article goes on to read, and I'm pulling this up on my screen for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube right now. A North County charter school network that serves more than 5,300 students in San Diego County, California, scrapped a 4-year-old policy that required privacy for transgender and gender nonconforming students and replaced it with one that would allow, and in some cases require, school staff to inform parents of changes to a student's gender identity or expression without the student's consent. Again, we're talking about minors, age 8, age 13, age 16, age 17. We're talking about minors. Refresh my memory. Can minors get tattoos? No. Can minors buy cigarettes? No. Can minors, most minors can't drive, aren't allowed to drive, right? Operate a vehicle below the age of 16. Can minors in any particular school go on a field trip without a signed permission slip? No, not in California. Not in public schools in California. Can minors in public schools break their arm on the playground and the school is not required to call the parent to notify them that their child has experienced some sort of physical difficulty? No, they call the parents. So let's take just food for thought as we talk about this newly revised transgender policy that actually informs parents in these classical academies, charter schools in San Diego County. Into the article again. Classical's old policy said school staff should not disclose information that could reveal a student's gender identity to others without the student's consent or unless required by law. The new policy requires that any minor student's parents automatically be notified if their child requests a change in their official or unofficial school records, which could include a name or a pronoun change. Just for kicks. If you're watching the screen right now, I want to take a look at Classical Academy's old policy. Here we go. I'm going to click the link right on the article. You're seeing me do it. Here's the Classical Academy's old policy, transgender and gender nonconforming individuals. The State Department of Education, as seen as the educational authority in California, blah, 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 has issued specific guidelines that they require to be included in a school's TGNI policy for publication. So that's transgender and gender nonconforming individuals. Now, the classical academies value the interaction of parents and guardians in the education and support of their own son or daughter. This procedure is created to align with legislation that will become law on January 1st, 2020. Anyone who lives in California is likely informed about these laws that are put into place at the first of the year. So this previous policy states that, I want to scroll down and find it. All persons, including students, have a right to privacy. Okay, this includes the right to keep private one's transgender status or gender nonconforming presentation at the school. Drop it in the comments if you agree or disagree. And I'll share with you my personal take. Minors cannot buy cigarettes. Minors are not allowed to get tattoos to change their body. Minors are not allowed to go on a field trip off of school property without their parent or guardian signing expressed permission slips saying that that minor may be able to do so. Most minors below the age of 16 are not legally able to operate a vehicle. They're not able to drive. We don't give 13-year-olds licenses because a 13-year-old, frankly, doesn't have the mental capacity to be able to handle the operation responsibly of a vehicle. Most 13-year-olds. I know there's probably some out there that do, but generally speaking, children's brains, and this is not me guessing or, making a wild conjecture. It is scientific fact from medical professionals, pediatricians, the American Academy of Pediatrics. Children's brains, the frontal lobes, the decision-making process, the decision-making area of children's brains is not fully developed until, I think it's early to mid-20s, okay? So why is it reasonable to allow a minor at a school to keep their decision about wanting to change their body, wanting to change their name, wanting to change their gender from their parents. It's completely unreasonable, completely unreasonable. So that's what the previous policy stated. The current policy, let's go here, new policy requires, again, that any minor student's parents automatically be notified if their child requests a change in their pronouns, name, or gender for that matter. And here we go, the new policy, and this you can see is in draft form. Classical Academy's health, safety, and well-being of all students. Where a student presents information or makes a request to a member of the school team that they may bear on the health, safety, or well-being, we will trust the judgment of a teacher, counselor, or administrator to know what to do, what advice to share, and will notify the student's parents, guardians to involve them in the situation. Bravo to Classical Academies in San Diego County, California. This is reasonability in action. And I might also add that other policies, the previous policy, as well as the blanket policy, generally speaking, from the state education department here in California, is to be deceitful towards parents. California State Education Department's baseline rule is to not inform parents if a student minor desires to change their name, pronoun, or gender at school. Okay? That's deceitful. We know that that's deceitful. It's lying. What happened to thou shalt not lie? Let's go to the basic fundamentals of what's right and wrong and the basic fundamentals of a moral code, right? I actually talked recently with a very smart woman by the name of Amy Bond from the PERC group, which is based here in California. And PERC is the group protecting the educational rights of kids. And you can find them at perc-group.com. And I talked to her about, and you can see this on my screen right now. If you go to I have all of the interviews here. This is the interview with Amy Bond on our prageru.com/kids/resources page. If you go to this page on our website for free, there's no paywall or anything, you can scroll down and find all sorts of informational videos that I have discussed with different experts across the education fields, across the fields of parental rights, about how we can handle these types of issues in schools, particularly with today we're talking about transgenderism, handling the transgenderism issue in school. And this video with Amy Bond, Amy described to me that pushing for a parental notification policy that addresses gender is one of the utmost important tasks that all of us parents should be undertaking right now with our children in schools. Okay. The good news, Amy has told me, and you can check out this interview for yourself. I'm going to click on it and show you. We're not going to listen to it right now, but I'm going to show you the interview. There's Amy. The good news is that the laws are on our side, parents. And I think with Classical Academies making the decision to inform parents properly if students in their public charter school system wants to identify as an opposite gender or name or anything, their policy to inform parents aligns with existing laws that protect all of us across the country. First of all, we have state education codes. I want all parents to remember this. We have state education codes. California has several ed codes that outline parents' rights to know, okay? Our U.S. Constitution's First and 14th Amendments protects parents. Our First Amendment, we know, protects religious freedom. If you are a person of faith who is opposed to the concept of transgenderism and it's a sincerely held religious belief, then you are protected by the First Amendment. And our 14th Amendment, as Amy Bond from PERC also informed me in the interview on our website that you can listen to in its entirety, our 14th Amendment has been interpreted to protect parents' fundamental right to direct the upbringing and education of our own children. That includes public school districts, okay? These are laws that are already in place. So, which is why, frankly, we're so dedicated at PragerUkids.com to educate kids and parents about how our American system of government works, how civics works, what our rights are, what laws already exist. These are things that most of our kids are not learning. And these are things that, quite frankly, I didn't know myself as a parent. And the more I learn about how our system is set up, the more I understand that there are a lot of laws already in place that protect parental rights. And it's up to us to make sure that we bring those existing laws to light in our school districts, in our private institutions as well, because all of these things can be subjected to legal action. I want to go to the comments. If any of you are from San Diego County, California, and you know about this, please alert me. Alert me if your child is a student at Classical Academy's public charter schools. If you are now enjoying reasonable parental rights being implemented as part of a school and parent partnership. The goal, remember when schools wanted parents involved? I always ask that question. Remember when schools wanted parents involved in behavioral challenges with children, in academic challenges for children, in health challenges for children? Remember when schools sought partnerships with parents to solve issues together, to work through things together in a healthy way that honors the fundamental right for parents to direct the upbringing and education of our own children? Remember that? We can go back to that because the laws are already on our side. Let me see if there's any comments here. Let me see. Parents should know everything that their minor children are going through. That's right. Schools are being paid to push this garbage. Health-wise, for sure, as they should be notified. More comments. Schools have no business pushing gender theory, talking about it, or pretending along with it. This is not what schools are for. I don't disagree with any of you. Great stuff. Thank you. Tyler from Texas. Common sense. Finally. Praise God. That's right. Oh, you're from Tyler, Texas. That's from Connie. Common sense, finally, exclamation points. Praise God. I love that comment. Thank you for that, Connie. And here's the thing. At PragerU Kids, I'll close with this because, like I said, good news, especially during this time of year, is always a blessing, right? And so the good news that San Diego County Charter School Network has dropped the deceitful secrecy program for keeping information from parents regarding if their if their own children want to go by a different name or pronoun. The fact that this is now happening is hope. It's hope for all of us. And at PragerU Kids, we always say, well, a lot of people ask us, how did we get here? How did we get to this point where the school system is so corrupt and backwards and chaotic? How did we get here? And the answer is we did not get here overnight. It took decades and decades to arrive at this place of unreasonability where parents are now being pushed out of the equation for directing the upbringing of our own children. We did not get to this place overnight, and this is not going to correct overnight as well. It is very well likely going to take decades and decades and decades of undoing the confusion that has been implemented in our public and many private schools. Okay? So, hope is on the horizon. And I believe that we are really turning a corner because as parents and reasonably minded teachers now, we are all awake and we know that. And I was just really overjoyed to share this good news with you from San Diego, from crazy California, right? So if things can turn around in crazy California, there's hope for where you are. Thank you once again for all of your support at PragerUKids.com. If you're not a member yet, subscribe for free. Subscribe for free at PragerUKids.com. There's no paywall. You basically can get all of our shows and information about our books and educational magazines in your inbox a few times a week so that you have all the resources and tools you need to educate your kids about all of the stuff that most schools aren't. Financial literacy, civics, history, character building skills, all of those wonderful things that really do that really do raise our children with a moral code so that they can grow to be critical thinkers, to know what's real, what's not real, what's true, and what's garbage. So subscribe, PragerUKids.com. We thank you for all your support. And if you haven't yet donated to Giving Tuesday, your last chance is today. All matches will be doubled. Thank you. See you all next time. Bye-bye.